writer, producer, and well, why don't I just show you? You nailed it. Great take. First started when I wanted my own talk show right here on the streets of New York. So I made one in the middle of Times Square with a cardboard desk. Hey, Times Square, what's up, everybody? And well, it didn't always work out. This is a late night talk show from the streets called Gorilla Late Night. Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, NYPD. Then I came to iArt. After harassing celebrities with a camera for a little while, I became the face of the brand, doing fun bits and interviews with pretty much everyone.
Listen, you woke me up.
Morning.
Hi. So excited!
So, Selena Gomez, ladies and gentlemen. It's true. Is it want to see how Chris Martin can make things that really aren't that emotional feel emotional?
All right. Oh, you, where have you been? One of the nicest that I've ever seen.
We've shared a bunch of great moments across TV, online, and radio, and I really only have a few requirements when I'm shooting. Basically, it has to be fun, surprising, genuine,
The dancing.
Demi, and real. What's up, fellas?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you? Kind of like that, but also with this. Not kidding around, it's Ed Sheeran and he's pretty. He's rapping to the ones and two, let's get silly, yo.
Yeah, my name's Ed, he's a super guy. He's like super fly, like Jay-Z and Jay-Z. He's wearing a suit and tie.
It's something about being spontaneous that I feel like is missing in entertainment, so I try every day to make something out of thin air. How you doing? Thanks for being at my shoot.
It's okay.
How can you teach me that in a very short time right now? So why am I telling you all this? Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and say hello to you guys, because you've probably talked to enough agents, you've seen enough reels, and this is just more me.
Hey, welcome to Buzz Talk Live. We got a great show for you tonight. Paul Costabile joins us. He's a host who started with his very own late night talk show on the streets right in the middle of Broadway in New York City. Then he went on working lead interviews on the red carpet for the Grammys, to the Oscars, as well as the Tony Awards for Billboard. He has co-hosted along with Ryan Seacrest for the iHeartRadio's TV concerts on the CW network. Paul has recently hosted the iconic revival of Beat the Clock, remember that, on Universal Kids. He also appears on daily segments of NBC New York Live show, and Paul's a family man, currently along with his wife, singer-songwriter Christina Perry, and their little daughter, Carmela, strives to create funny and memorable moments for the whole family to enjoy. So let's chat it up with one of New York's funniest and busiest personalities. Welcome, Paul Costabile, to Buzz Talk Live. How you doing, Paul?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. Sorry, I got excited there.
I know.
Wanted to say hello. Hello, George.
Hello,
Thanks for
Paul.
having me on, man. It's great to be here.
Hey, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks for making the time in your schedule. You're a busy guy, man. I mean, just trying to nail you down to do this tonight was a feat, and I think I accomplished that.
For sure. Well, you know what? I'm less busy on quarantine, but maybe busy in other ways. Like I was busy chasing my daughter around or something, or like taking the garbage out for the 10th time because that's, I'm at home so much.
Yeah, you're playing dad, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? With your schedule,
that I'm fortunate with my wife, we were able to have that understanding a lot of the time, at least. Yeah. And then with quarantine, it's a different story. But yes, it's super important.
Yeah, and she's busy as well, trying to for a music career and all that stuff that goes behind that. But I tell you, you're such an interesting guy. Not because of your hair, but
that's where I try to peacock everybody. Like, hey, check it out.
Yeah. Well, you work for the Peacock, right? So correct. And so tell us the little story on how you got to where you are up to the point with the Gorilla Late Night stuff.
Well, first of all, thank you for mentioning Gorilla Late Night. It was my pride and joy project, but just that I still reminisce about and I still obsess over in my mind about that time in my life. So to zoom to go a little bit further back, I come from like a musical family. My dad's a musician. We're all from Jersey. Family's from Italy, then Jersey. So I came up in the entertainment field at weddings and bar mitzvahs. My dad was in a wedding band. I was in wedding bands. I'm a drummer. And then it went from being the drummer to also DJing and emceeing those events, which made me take my own work. I started emceeing weddings instead of playing in the band, which was like, I was still trying to make some cash, so it didn't matter to me.
Right.
But that's when I really, I credit my dad who, first of all, really grateful to have supportive parents like that who supported me in that field of the arts, but then also to say, I'm DJing and I really like emceeing. I like holding this microphone. I think I'm into radio and television, and I think I want to interview people, and I like this role I'm starting to play at these events.
Yeah.
And that interest, it also in high school, I started getting involved with doing television in high school and hosting things and reporting things. And I don't think I'm a reporter to this day, even though it's sort of one of my job titles. But I started doing it in high school. I started doing the DJing and the bar mitzvahs and the weddings. And that made me want to focus on television and film and radio. In college, I went to William Patterson in Jersey. I'm a prideful Jersey guy.
Wow.
And got immediately into TV studios there. And when it really changed for me is when I hosted a late night talk show in college. I hosted a comedy show.
Right.
And I thought, I really like this. Conan O'Brien's one of my biggest influences. I thought I love being the comedy guy, interviewing people, having so much fun making sketches, doing jokes, talking about the world, making people laugh.
So you do stand up too. I mean,
Yeah. I did it in college, and then I've since recently, about 10 years later, got more into it this year before COVID, just because I'm trying to be a better host and better entertainer, and that's why I got into that. But after college, I was hell-bent on this dream idea of a late-night talk show because I did it in college, and I loved doing it. And so instead of waiting to get hired to be a late-night host, which there's no real path to that, I created this show on the internet at the time in 2009. So there weren't as many talk shows on the internet then. And we called it Guerrilla Late Night because it was guerrilla style, pop-up style show, cardboard desk, middle of Times Square, pedestrians holding the curtains. And it never went viral, but I will say it shaped me into the host I am today, because I was out there once a week kind of learning the ropes of producing a show and also presenting a show to real people in front of me live in Times Square every week.
Well, Paul, that's a perfect tease and setup for the video. Look at you. You're a host. You're doing my job.
I mean, you want to say I'm down, man. I'm so used to that. Check it out.
Show now. All right, let's take a look. And this was, if you want to set it up a little bit, but I think you did enough. But I think, is this the first show that you did, or?
I think this was just a promo we made. I edited this show back then, and I was just constantly trying to come up with ways to promote it. And so I was trying to brand it like the one of a kind late night talk show from the streets.
All right, let's take a look.
Guys have a pretzel? You're the man. You know what the problem is these days? Nothing seems real anymore, right, miss? You know what I mean. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is Guerrilla Late Night. Hey, Times Square, what's up, everybody? Yeah! Welcome to the show. Hey, thank you for coming. Yeah! The greatest thing about shooting a show on the streets is the people. Am I right, guys? Yeah, the people. On your marks, get set, eat that watermelon. Let's go. Yo, J-Wow, have you seen my scenario yet? Scenario. Oh, I thought that was nice, girl. Whatever.
And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to come.
Ready, but really not. I keep watching in horror, something's not so hot. Yeah, then you said it.
But this will be my last year.
He said it, Regis, please don't go. If
I'm not miking you. I'm not miking you. Huh? This is a late night talk show from the streets called Gorilla Late Night.
Okay.
Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, NYPD, thank you for coming out. Yeah. Thank you, buddy. Awesome. Appreciate that. TV show, come on over.
And you didn't have the hair back then either. So
I know. It's funny looking back on the footage from that. It's great though. I miss those days in a nostalgic way. It was a really fun time for me.
What a great concept too, because I mean, a cardboard box, you could travel with it. You fold it up, you go on the subway, you set up right there, and I know exactly where that place is. It's right near the Marriott, right, the Marquee, and where they have the rake seating for people to sit. So you have a built-in audience of all nationalities from all over the world that visit Manhattan. And what a great idea! I mean, look, looks like you got chased a few times, but you worked around it. Did you have anybody else? Did you have any muscle behind you to keep the crowd?
Not really. It was funny. It was me and a bunch of college kids. We had just graduated college. Some of my crew was actually still in college, and we rented the cameras from my college to have cameras. So it was a bunch of us, ambitious and all for the same goal of having fun and also just creating stuff.
Yeah.
And what's fun about looking back on that is I feel the same way in my career now as I do then. And we were talking about it earlier,
right? Being
in quarantine and also being in this business and just wanting to continue to create new things. And I don't think that flame has really flamed out for me. It just maybe looks a little different, but that time, since then, there's been more street shows. Billy on the Street's a pretty famous street show, and other street comedy shows have gotten out there on TV. But I do pride myself on the fact that we did the whole joke on having the set and the desk and the chair and the curtains, and that format still is my baby idea that I love and hold so dear.
Did you ever interview the Naked Cowboy? He's right near that area.
Probably hundreds of times, yes. We still recognize. Anytime I'm in Times Square, if I see him, we just kind of recognize each other and be like, "Oh, how's it going?"
Yeah, how you doing?
That guy is one of the hardest work.
You're on my turf, right?
That guy is always there, and he's been the same guy forever. And he must have a great diet regimen because he looks great. He doesn't.
I would love to get him on the show. I got to.
Yeah, you should.
Cowboy. I don't know how. I got to get him on the show. I don't have a casting. I mean, I do have a casting department. In LA, but I do some casting myself. But anyway, that's for another show. I tell you, you just have a rich background of just on the fly, thinking on the fly, creative, and all that. And then now, I mean, you then since went to iHeart, right after the Gorilla stuff. Did they see something in you? What did you do at iHeart?
I think it's funny because I didn't get paid to do my talk show, right? I actually paid my crew from my DJ budget just to do my talk show back then. But one thing I learned, and I always meet younger people now getting in the business, that talk show did help me get the iHeart job, I think, because I showed my future boss in my interview. I said, "Hey, I do comedy videos. I have a comedy talk show on the internet. Here's what I do." And it just fatefully worked out that he was working in TV production and comedy. He used to produce Best Week Ever and a bunch of other comedy shows for VH1 and other networks. And then he went to iHeart and went and got a role there. And so we just were kindred spirits and we connected. And I think he made me sing a song in his office during the interview or something shticky because he saw my videos. And I think that helped. And it turned out, I had known a comedian and an improviser who I did comedy with in New York in the improvising scene, the improv scene, was a mutual person. So there was a lot of connectivity, but it just goes to show for me looking back too, building that show helped me get one of my first gigs in entertainment. Yeah. And I applied blindly. I just got in the door. It was a blogging position for a local radio station website. And I saw the opportunity with my new boss, who was also a video guy, to start making videos for them. And the first day I was on the job there, I went up to Nicki Minaj, the rapper, with a camera, threw it in her face and started doing impressions of her to her face. "Hello, I'm Nicki Minaj. Hello." I can't even do it well. I just wanted to make funny things happen.
Just wanted to make funny things.
And the record label executive was like, who the hell is this kid? And I was wearing a suit. Like nobody wore suits in radio. It didn't make sense. And I mean, people wear suits in radio, but nobody that day
That's so cool.
had a camera and a suit. And I was like, hey, Nicki Minaj. And I almost got fired that day because the label was really upset.
Well, you developed an angle, you know, you went there and you wanted to be different, and putting a suit on and doing everything like just crazy. You're developing a character, and somebody saw you, and a local help you know, somebody at iHeart, you know, said, hey, let's take a chance on him. Now, you've been involved doing like red carpet stuff too, right?
Yeah. Throughout my career, I've been able to do some red carpets for different brands. It started at iHeart for the most part, and then also for NBC and Billboard and The Hollywood Reporter and a couple other brands. I actually worked for Snapchat once on the red carpet and Instagram.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm very familiar in that world, and I enjoy those. I like when I can make them different and I could do things that are out of the norm. Actually, working for Snapchat was the best job I ever had on the carpet, because it was at the time when Snapchat was the most viewed social media platform. Now this is so quick, these platforms, right? So now it'd be like if TikTok had their spot, and so all the other apps were there, but my role for Snapchat was to run around and get behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And because we were Snapchat, I had free reign, like at the Oscars and the Grammys and all these crazy places.
That's cool.
When other people didn't. So I took, similar to my iHeart stories, I took full advantage, and I harassed a lot of celebrities on some red carpets.
So
ran around.
You're doing it
backstage.
again. You're gonna set up the red carpet clip of Tom Cruise when he interviewed it. Yeah, check this out. This is fun.
I just got my mission here. I have to laugh like Tom Cruise with Tom Cruise and do stunts with Tom Cruise. Mission on. Here we go. Can we just appreciate for a second how you are like a fine wine and you've only gotten better with age? Punch you?
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Like that, you know?
Just
like that, you know?
Just swap it. What if I go with the mic and then I go lefty?
Yeah, well, then I'll go like this. You go with the mic.
All right.
Okay, and I go like this.
Now I got nothing.
Now it's lights out.
Yeah. See, guys, it's real stunts.
Now it's lights out.
On the carpet and in the movie. He knows how to fight. Do not try and fight Tom Cruise. Oh my gosh, he actually almost really cracked me. Wow. All right, take care, Simon. Great to see you. And he's gone. That's why he's good at what he does. She touched me. I had my own mission.
Sure.
And it was to laugh with Tom Cruise like Tom Cruise. Am I doing it?
No.
I love it. He's like, nope, didn't do it. Didn't get it. Didn't get it, dude.
How was he to interview?
He's great, man. I always try and find ways. I think a lot of hosts do this, but we always are trying to find ways to connect and have fun with people. That's always been my thing, to have fun with people. And most of the time when I'm looking at someone who's so well known, I'm able to go to a place where I just have fun with them and don't think about it.
Yeah.
But there are a few people that you can't escape. When you're looking into Tom Cruise's eyes, you're like, my God, it's Tom Cruise.
It's Tom Cruise, right.
Oprah's the same way. And I hate being name droppy, but I put Oprah in my reel in the beginning because I'm like, no, I met Oprah. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to me.
Absolutely. I have, well, you know, this show, we do chats, and we do have a chat up there. So
great.
From Up to Par, who's your favorite interview and your worst?
Ooh.
Man, I know. It's a touchy subject.
Oh, no, I'm fine with it. Look, I have an answer I have to say, because I married her. So I think my favorite interview, because it changed my life, would be my wife, because we met in the little green screen studio I had at iHeartRadio. And yeah, she walked into the studio and changed my life. And I remember meeting her in person and being like, who is this woman? And I was completely flustered, and I prided myself on, I like to be pretty natural and fun with people when I'm interviewing them. And I could barely speak to her when we met. And I was just like, I couldn't handle, we started speaking Italian. Anyway, it was like a first date. And so that's probably my favorite, because we have a beautiful baby girl and a family now and one on the way.
Congrats. Yeah.
So that was a favorite highlight. And she forces me to say it every time, but no, I'm just kidding. The worst, I was fortunate when I worked in radio and I have too many bad interviews, but I'll tell a funny story about a Taylor Swift incident that I just think is funny, which is like, it was pretty bad because she was about to go on stage at Madison Square Garden, and I was working for iHeartRadio's TV broadcast, and my job was to talk to the artists before they went on stage. And Taylor Swift is a boss in how she operates, and so no one told her that this goofy guy in a Santa suit was going to come up and talk to her with a camera crew, with a TV camera crew.
Oh my God.
And she had her inner ears in, and she was about to go on stage, and I was like, Taylor, how you doing? Like, yeah, you're going on. And she was like, what? And like, she couldn't hear me. You could tell she was annoyed that I was talking to her. How dare this guy not get permission to come up to me before I go on at the Garden? And I loved every minute of it because that was my job.
You were legal. You had everything, right?
I was only doing my job. Yeah. And when she finished, it's funny to think she finished her Madison Square Garden set and then stormed off opposite of the side we were on. Like, I was going to try and talk to her after, but she left. But you know what? I have no ill will against Taylor Swift, but it was probably the worst because she wasn't expecting it. I totally freaked her out, and she was about to go on the biggest arena in the world and perform, and I was yelling at her. Like yelling.
My God.
So, I was in the wrong a little.
Good
maybe.
for you. Good for you. You did some stuff for Netflix. You interviewed One Republic, which is pretty decent interview to do, and it aired on Netflix. I want to show a clip of that, and then we'll talk about it.
Cool.
You have these moments in front of a crowd. People just like grab you. Your song or your lyric changed my life. And you're like, man, I have the best job in the world. We are dudes in their 30s, stuck at 18.
And our wives love it.
If we know something has worked, the curse is trying to replicate that. 2/3 of every hit that I've had was written on a tour bus or in a hotel room. I became very, very unprecious about the vibe. Apologize. The lyric came to me very quickly.
Holding on your rope got me 10 feet off the ground.
Everyone in the room's going, where the hell did that come from? And I'm going, I have no idea.
Said it's too late to apologize. It's too late.
Wow. That was good. That was good, man. I mean,
thanks.
Great job. What a band to cover. And how old are the guys? They were.
I love those guys. And that was a funny circumstance. And I'm fortunate, like, over my years at iHeart, I was able to develop a lot of relationships with artists and obviously my wife, but labels and just around the music business. And those guys had to, for that series, an artist was featured every episode. It was a docu-series on artists performing, and some live, some in the studio. And One Republic had to pick who would interview them, and picked me to talk to them, which was really awesome. And that was a unique experience because I'd been working for iHeart for so many years, where they'd go to 5 radio stations in New York, and then they'd run to my studio and do 3 minutes on camera. So I was so used to being on crack, not for real, but saying, all right, Paul, you got 2 minutes with J-Lo. Go. Hey, J-Lo, what's going on? So
how do you pull that off?
I was so used to that. I actually liked it because it was so impromptu. A lot of the time you captured real energy with people. But the One Republic Netflix show was a dream opportunity in that it was very long. I sat with Ryan Tedder in an LA studio and chatted with him for hours. And it for me, it opened up my mind to like, hey, I really like long form interviewing, and maybe I'll do some more podcasting or ways of talking.
You're a musician, so I mean, you collaborated and talked to one another. That's the best way, by interviewing somebody that you have something in common with, and it kind of you break bread that way. And
I was able to sit with him at a piano and, from a musician, like music fan perspective, really nerd out about music, the Beatles, the way he writes songs.
You got that all out of the way. You got that all out of the way, and then you went right to the interview.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened with you when you got this beat the clock thing? Did this just fall in your lap, or did you go for this? There was an opening. You saw something that. It
was a very quirky opportunity, and I've always dreamt of hosting a game show, and all my idols have hosted game shows. And if you think of the history of television,
I mean, beat
some
the
of the
clock.
best.
you know?
Yeah, this is one of the most classic. It's actually the oldest running stunt game show in history. It started in 19. Oh shoot, I haven't talked about it. Hold on. This is the power of the internet. 1950.
54?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I hope nobody who worked on it with me will. No, 1950. That's what I thought. I thought it was that early.
Yeah. Because, it was.
I was going to say 1950, and then I thought in my head, that's too early. But that's why it's the longest running stunt game show. And I always grew up as a host. I work with Ryan Seacrest. I look at people like him and other comedians. Right. He's not a comedian, but other comedian hosts, the Steve Harveys of the world. And I've always wanted to do a game show. And I had said that out loud for years. I said it, the next thing I want to do is a game show. And my agent at the time, I had an agent, and it was like the last possible call for this show. I think they were looking for a host for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I was like, it wasn't like A, B, C, D, E, F, or G, like batch of requests. It was like H. Is that after G? And they sent out like one more email. Like,
they actually
maybe
turned the page. They actually turned the page.
Yeah, maybe this will work if we tried this last round. And I was flown to LA and packed my bags to hopefully get it. And it was really crazy. I got it, and we filmed 2 days later for 2.5 weeks straight. And the game show business is, you shoot multiple episodes a day for multiple weeks. So I was immediately hosting for 5 shows a day for 2.5 weeks. And it was a dream come true. I always wanted to do one. It was a studio game show. And the bigger part for me was joining, because I do digital, and I'm a host on digital. I have my social media and everything, but I'm an old school TV buff and TV fan, and like all my idols are dead, honestly. Like Steve Allen, who started the Tonight Show, is one of my biggest inspirations, and Carson and all these guys who did this stuff, and Bud Collier, who started Beat the Clock. To join the ranks of those types of guys, no matter what, to me was a dream. So I was really grateful to be a part of that legacy.
No, that was awesome. I mean, I saw some of the clips when I was reviewing your content, and it just brought me back, because I used to watch that show, and that was well done, Paul. Well done.
You may have watched it when Monty Hall hosted it, right? Monty Hall hosted it.
Did he have the stick mic, right? Yeah, Monty Hall.
There are a couple hosts, and he hosted it for a couple of years as well.
Yeah. We have a clip. Let's take a look of.
Cool.
You Beat the Clock.
Nice. And now, Paul Costabile, host of Beat the Clock, has 15 seconds to explain the show.
Beat the Clock is a competition game show where 2 teams compete in outrageous challenges to see who has the skills, teamwork, and luck to complete the stunt before time runs out. After 3 rounds, the winning team takes on the big clock for a chance to take home some serious cash. Boom! That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. What? No, I didn't get serious cash? Just the contestants?
Beat the Clock. Weeknights at 7:30. On Universal Kids.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. We did that
out of the park.
Thanks, man. It was fun. It was for kids. It was a kid's version of it, obviously. And
yeah.
I'm like a big kid, and I was a new dad at the time. So it was like a perfect storm to host a family kid friendly show, right as I became a dad.
Yeah. You were involved in the Jingle Ball stuff, and that's pretty, it's a common occurrence, these last couple of years. The kids get together, they go to Jingle Ball, and they at the Garden, and they have, and again, there you are, interviewing stars and music personalities. It's almost like a red carpet.
Yeah, I've been there that's where the Taylor Swift story comes from. But it's been really fun over the years to sneak around the Garden. If you think about that venue and everything that's gone on there.
Oh my God, yeah.
I've had the access to the backstage area there for many years. After iHeart, I started doing stuff for the Garden themselves, which really was dangerous for me and my comedic sensibilities, because when I felt like I could never get kicked out, I'd be like, well, I could really say or do anything. I'm with the house. I'm with the Garden. It gave me some way too much inflated cred, I think. But I had fun on the carpet with a lot of artists over the years. And the cool thing about that show is it's always festive. People are excited for the holidays. And a lot of those artists do a lot of cities. But by the time they get to New York, it's towards the end, and they've been doing it for a while. And also it's Madison Square Garden, so there's like an extra sense of excitement that night.
Exactly, festive times.
And you also never know who's going to be there, like, because it's such a fun thing to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've snuck around that show for many years.
I have a short little clip of Jingle Ball stuff.
Cool.
Guys, what an awesome night at Z100 Jingle Ball. Thanks for hanging out with us at the Garden. I will see you next time. 'Tis the season, everybody. And one more awkward family photo.
I'm singing old school songs. Santa baby, slipper sable under the tree.
Sabrina Carpenter
is coming to town. Please come home for Christmas.
Oh.
Please come home for Christmas. That one.
If not for Christmas.
By New Year's night. That one.
You know what's a classic is that I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Oh.
Nice.
Isn't it crazy seeing all that footage of me and people like so close? No, but so close.
Yeah.
Like
now
in this world. I know. Taking pictures.
Now it's all wide angle.
I know.
But it's going to come back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know. It will.
Fine. And speaking of which, you're locked in, or not locked in, but you're doing a lot of content at home with the fam, and you're creating stuff, you're getting it out there, and I have a clip here which I thought it was hysterical, and it's almost like dad in the life of a day of dad, and with with your daughter, little Carmela, and I got to show that this is so funny. Let's show it.
Sure, love it.
You touching the remote? Give me your hand. Rub it in. Yeah, we're just, yeah, I didn't see that email. I'll check in with it. How are you, man? What's going on?
What? We're not watching our
Hey, can you keep it down?
No, can you keep it down?
I'm hanging out with my
No,
friend.
I'm hanging out with my friend. Carmela, are you alright?
Yeah, so what's up, dude?
Tell me all your problems, Wally. What's going on with your life?
Honestly, my wife's been really difficult. I've had a hard time with my wife lately. I'll be right out. Okay. Thanks for coming to happy hour. Cheers.
You just can't get a break, can you? I mean,
at the bar with
they
the daughter.
find you everywhere. You
Yeah.
cannot go 1 second and you hear your daughter. Oh my God, that's so funny. It's hysterical. Very, very, very funny clip.
Thanks.
Paul.
That was my way of dealing with the beginning. It's funny watching that now. It was like March, I think, and
yeah,
it's
right,
pretty
the beginning.
similar. Yeah, but I try and find the fun with. I like to think about bits like that it can be relatable to people out there, and
sure.
I have I still have this delusion that I have my own late night comedy show, and that I'm always trying to make bits that would play on that show in my mind. It's like, all right, we're stuck at home. Let's check out what it's like for dads. Like I'm always thinking about bits that way.
If anything, this serves as like a test reel. You test the waters with this, and you see what works, and you see what doesn't, and then when you do have your show, when you walk out on stage, like Carson, and you sit down, you'll have it all in the plan. It'll be all in the plan.
Well, what's great about our generation is that we can test stuff out. We can put stuff out there, and it's not so much about the numbers. I've learned that we could live in a very fleeting, obsessed with numbers world with social media, and I've learned that you throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and you see what sticks for you, and then you're an audience, but you got to throw it first. So we have a great platform to throw a bunch of stuff out in the digital world now.
Speaking of the Tonight Show and Carson, Jay Leno, you had a moment with Jay Leno, a 60-second moment with Jay Leno, and I do have a clip. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll discuss.
Probably a comedian. Seinfeld. He's got a lot of material.
Okay. If you had to drive the same car forever, what would it be?
My McLaren F1, I think. That'd be a good car.
Last celebrity you texted. You text celebrity?
I texted Seinfeld last night, so it'll probably be him.
And a quick word from our sponsor, Cheez-Its. All right, we're back with Jay Leno. We have such little time. You ever pretend to be anybody else being recognized in public?
Yes, one time the car came to pick me up. I get in the car, we're driving to Atlantic City, and he said, I really enjoy your music. I said, who do you think I am? Anthony Newley, right? I go, no, I'm not Anthony Newley. My name's Jay Leno, I'm a comedian.
Tell us about hashtag cholesterol 911.
I've had an awful lot of friends who had heart attacks and strokes. We're not selling anything here. It's just to tell people, go to cholesterol911.com. Questions to ask your doctor. Because it's one of those deals you don't know you have high cholesterol.
That's awesome, Jay. Well, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks. The time just flew by.
It really did. What about our set?
The set is terrific.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
I told him when I work at NBC, I said, I want to have a talk show like you here.
Right.
But for now, this is all I got. 60 seconds.
I love that. What you use, a mic stand, and you tape something on a mic stand.
That actually was his green room to be a guest on our daytime show. And I snuck in and said, let's do a 60-second thing. And he's great.
Yeah, no, I think he's a real person. The way he is, as you see him on TV, he is the same. I met him once at one of those conventions in Vegas, and he couldn't be nicer. I mean, he's a very nice guy. Jay's good guy. Mm-hmm. So tell me, you want to take this Gorilla Late Night and you want to change it up a little bit, but yet keep it the same way. And what is you want to tease the show? What is the new show?
Sure. Well, I've done a lot of soul searching as a host the past few years. I've been really fortunate to work in many different host capacities, right? Did the game show, iHeart interviews.
Right.
Now the NBC daytime show, I do New York Live. I'm very fortunate. I get to interview and talk to people for a living, and I love doing that. But I've been also thinking, what can I do that is like, what's my role as an interviewer? What's the thing I can do to provide for people? What do I really want to be doing as a host right now? Looking back on everything I've been able to do. And the one answer I came up with was two things. Bring back the cardboard desk, because nobody else has done it yet.
That's right.
And even though it feels like it's an old idea to me, it still kind of holds up, this idea of popping up and doing a show anywhere. And then two, highlight real people out there, because the past few years I've done a lot of segments on mom and pop shops and just a lot of older people. I'm really into talking to older people as I get older. And that's become a passion of mine as an interviewer. And so I decided to morph the cardboard desk talk show idea into kind of traveling to remote places and meeting real people, and specifically people with small shops and people with unique lives.
Right.
And we took the show on the road. We went to 6 cities, and we are right in real time. I'm glad we're talking about it here. We're producing the series, and we're trying to get it on a streamer or a Netflix or a TV in the coming months.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, interviewing older people, they got the stories, and similar to this show. I try to bring in people like yourself who achieved something in their life and has a background, a great story to tell. I see a lot of similarities here, Paul. A lot of
yeah.
I don't have the pop-up. I don't have the cardboard desk, but this is COVID time. So
that's it, man. But that's the good thing about you have to pop up and do your thing, in any capacity. And I don't ever want to lose that hustle and that creativity for myself. And that's why I wasn't forcing myself, but I wanted to create something that kind of was back to my roots as a host, which was like the first show. And real people, I just think in these times that we're in, and I think a lot of us have forgotten to just talk to people and meet them where they are, instead of saying, you don't believe what I believe, you're bad, I'm not going to talk to you. And a big part of this new season for us is breaking that down a little bit and show, I'm like a kid when I talk to people. I can talk to anybody and really try and bring out the best in them and also not judge them. And that's what I'm trying to do with this show is we talk to all walks of life. We celebrate them and where they come from. Mm-hmm. And I also kind of bring the New York Hollywood flavor and learn from them. And so it's an exciting project, and I hope Netflix buys it, honestly. That's really where I'm at.
No, are they talking, or is this something that could possibly happen?
I mean, I'm putting it out there, but we're in preliminary stages with all that. We're about to finish post-production on all of them. So
because it's almost like a reality talk show. If you look at it, it's because it's real people. I mean, you don't do any celebrities, right? It's just you go to travel to town, and I have a clip to show it, but it's all real people.
It's all real people. It's all real places. The passion of history and like how things were before is in this show. Is a lot of history. We kind of go places and say, hey, what happened before here? Also about if we're at a specific shop, what's the history of the shop? My goal before COVID was for people to see this show and say, next time I'm passing through New Hampshire, I want to stop at this hole in the wall shop because of the experience, because I saw it on Pop-Up Show.
Right.
And now with less travel, we're actually retooling it so that we can help support these businesses and kind of upgrade the audience on whatever they're up to, because these people need it. They're suffering a lot right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Across America, a lot of small businesses. I mean, it's everything's decimated, and it's really tough out there. And if you can lend your celebrity to them and bring that joy and at the same time bring a show and create it, it's a win-win.
I don't even know if I would go as far to say I'm lending my celebrity, but I'm trying to. I appreciate that, but I don't. I really think I'm lending an open heart and also some lightness and celebratory nature to wherever they are, because we forget about these small towns in showbiz too, and I want to go to my goal is to go to every state with this and to really talk to everyone. And I'm hoping I could be a vehicle or a vessel to do that across the country. I think we all need to talk to each other more in a lighter and funnier way these days.
I agree. And with that, let's take a look at the Pop-Up Show.
This story begins when my grandfather took a boat ride over to America for love. All right, I'll move it quicker. My passion for speaking with all types of people and making things fun is deeply ingrained in my DNA. I've always had the insatiable curiosity of people, who they are, where they come from, what makes them tick, and so on. I don't know. This led me to opportunities to talk with the biggest stars.
Woke me up.
Good morning.
Morning.
I even met my wife on camera. Talking with people has changed my life, and these days I don't think we're talking to or highlighting the real people out there worth celebrating enough. So we set out on the road with our mobile studio. To do a show about the people that best represent the state we're in. The small town mom and pop shop owners.
What are you waiting for? They got cheese and molasses.
The people keeping the traditions alive. We're here to meet the fabric of America.
Oh, no!
And make ridiculous moments happen with them along the way.
Skydiving!
Oh my God!
Judy, how's it going? In a time that could feel like we're all divided, this is the show that reminds us we're not, and embraces people where they are, for who they are, in real time, anywhere. My guest, right from the sky. And as a new dad, I'm on a mission to pass down what I learned to the next generation. This is the Pop-Up Show.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you for showing that. Thank you.
It's so funny. I'll tell you, real people, and when you get them in their own, way, they just open up, and that's out of an airplane with the microphone. That's priceless.
Thank you. That was scary. And
yeah, I bet.
and rigging the microphone to my hand was hilarious because we kept joking about it. We're like, should we do this? I'm like, we have to commit. If we're going to do it, we got to commit. But then I was worried, like, I'm going to lose my circulation. It's going to pull me. I don't know. It was all this fear.
How was it jumping out? I've never done it. How is it jumping out of a plane?
Oh, it was amazing. It's the craziest feeling in the world.
Thrill of a lifetime.
And the scariest feeling ever. And the big part about that segment, which I'm really excited to release, is Judy. Here's a girl turning 21, had no idea it was even happening, and just completely fearless, goes up into a plane and jumps out like it's nothing. Yeah. And I'm really glad that comes across in that segment because, you know, she could be viewed as somebody with a disability who isn't able to live the way we live. And here she is living her best life more fearlessly than most adults. And so the big thing for me with that episode was to show that we all can learn from Judy. And I had the best day ever with her. I really did.
That's great. I mean, you're on the beach. You got a band? Is this like locals that just pop in?
No, one of my best friends, his name's Lucius. He's a pretty well-known and really successful music producer, and he's worked with you know, Beyonce and all these people. And we went to college together, William Patterson. So it's all full circle. And I said years ago, if I ever do a talk show, which I want to do, I want you and his brother's a musician too. I want you to be the band and help with the band. They're incredible musicians. And then 10 years later, I said, hey, you know, it's not the big network talk show. I'm doing my own, a reboot of my old show. And it's in the cold and you're only going to have a keytar. And he was like, what, dude? What are you talking about? But like all things we're talking about, we showed up. I had great support from friends and also my crew on that show, similar to my first show. You get people to help that really believe in the concept and believe in you. And I'm so grateful to just zoom out and look at all the people that have just supported this stuff I'm doing. They shot that so beautifully. They helped produce. I got producers from all over the place helping me with that show. And I'm really grateful. It's something I think hopefully will touch a lot of people if we get it out there.
I think there's definitely a marriage there. I mean, you got to have that's entertainment, and it's real entertainment with real people, and you're bringing, you know, a story of their background, you know, who they are, you know, what they do for a living, and then you're making it live and funny for the viewer. And it's just something different. I've never seen that. And
thanks, George.
That's pretty cool stuff.
I may need to use you to help. That's a good line. You're gonna promote us.
I'll pitch.
You're gonna be our salesman
on the show.
We're actually in the middle. No, I would love that. We're in the middle of editing the Amish episode right now. So just to your point, you know, I learned so much, like going to places like Amish country, Pennsylvania, or going to the middle of the woods in New Hampshire. And
now I got to stop you, Paul. I mean, Amish, you're really pushing the envelope here. I mean, those people are still on batteries. You know, how are you working that angle?
They're never going to see it.
True.
So that's how we were crazy. We shot the craziest stuff there. We went insane, and they're never going to know.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, there's different orders. You know, they are some orders.
Maybe they'll be allowed. Yeah.
Yeah. Some orders. But how did you present that to them? You know, did you just drive and, you know, up the Harrisburg there, and you went to the town of Intercourse, and you said, hey, I'm a talk show host, and I want to interview you, and they're on their horse and buggy, and
sort of, though. What was kind of, but what was good about the show was things felt. I knew I had to film this season when we were pre-producing. Things started to fall into place, and I ended up meeting a woman who ran a tour company there, the Amish farmhouse there that does tours, and she became our connector in the town, and so she, you know, she saw that I'm reputable enough to say, hey, I'm not just like some kid trying to make fun of you guys. I do interviews. We're doing a show, but we did poke fun at them. But we went and I was able to get connected to real people in town through a woman who was really awesome there. And then we did some fun stuff without them. And my big thing is actually in post-production, we're diving back and we're actually telling stories and doing the research to learn like what the real story is about the Amish. For example, they got like I didn't know there was a year that they got stuck in. Like they got stuck in the 1730s is when they stopped kind of advancing in technology. I never knew there was an actual date around things like that. And we talk about the history, and I want to be informative as much as I want to be kind of funny and entertaining.
Yeah, and that's a great angle because you're educating too, and you know, to do that and to present it the way you do, I think it's a great idea.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that support. I really do.
So you know, I was on your Instagram the other day, and everybody's wearing them, but you have a special one.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I want to get one of those. Where do I get? Do you have one handy dandy?
No, but I should make them pay me, and I should make them send me a bunch of them to give away.
I love that mask.
Isn't it awesome? I don't have it. It's in my car.
Oh, damn. All right. I don't have a picture of it either. But describe
I can go get it.
Yeah, no. Describe it briefly. It's your face.
It's actually what's funny is it's actually Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. His mustache and his nose.
Oh.
And then, but it fits me so well that it really looks like my nose. And I've had a mustache on and off in quarantine for fun the past few months. And
so you didn't put your face down on a Xerox machine?
No, but it looks like that. And what's fun is, I said it today. I'm just tired of, I'm tired of people not seeing all my parts, like I want, so people see my mustache now, but it's freaking people out in town. And I'm really getting a kick out of like the double takes. And that's taking something that I think we're all sick of, even though we know it's good for us and we have to keep doing it. It's such a new thing. So I've turned a corner of like, yes, I know I have to do it and it's safe, but I'm now going to start having fun with it. And so
you have to, man. I mean, they got the ones that have the sayings on them and flags and this and that. But your face, that's you.
It's me. It's also jarring. It's creeping people out, and I'm loving that.
You could be creeping. I mean,
you also get the people who are annoyed that you're like joking about it. Like you get serious people.
Yeah.
You walk by and they're like, "Oh, who does this guy think he is? Trying to be funny with a mask?"
Well, you are a comedian, Paul.
Yeah, I'm
you could say you could pull your comedian card out and say, "Look, I'm a comedian. Stand up, stay back.
I'm working.
I'm working over here." Very funny stuff, man. Paul, it was such a pleasure to have you on Buzz Talk Live. I can't thank you enough.
Oh man, thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Yeah, and I got to have you back when the pop-up show takes flight, and it's a success, and you got to come out. Hopefully I'll have a couch that time.
There you go. Yeah, sure.
You never know. I mean, I don't know where this thing is going to go, but I'd love to have you back on the show.
I'd love to come back, man. And thanks for having me. And I really genuinely appreciate the support. I don't ever think about all my work in the way that you were able to present it to me tonight. And it reminds me to be grateful for all that I do. And I appreciate that so much, man.
Well,
seriously.
Thanks. I guess I did a good job.
You did a great job, man. You did a great job. I really appreciate it. Seriously.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it too. Stay right there. Hey, look, Paul was great. He knocked it out of the park. What can I say? He's a funny guy, busy guy, and he's rolling with the punches, as they say. He's getting in there and he's still creating content. Busy guy. And I wish him a lot of luck with the new show and with the your second child, I believe it is, coming along.
Yeah.
So congratulations and best of luck to you and the family. So come back to me on Sunday night at 9 p.m. We're gonna have a book author and former athlete Melvin L. Jones on with the release of his new book, The Onyx Renaissance. He's going to talk about that incredible story of these Cleveland boys that basically took over a school and their athletic department and created all these championships. What an incredible story. So stick around on Sunday night at 9 p.m. for that. And that's all we have tonight. Follow me on social media. Follow Paul on social media. Paul, you want to tease your social out there?
Sure. You still see me?
No, but I can. Bring
that's
back.
okay.
I can
It's
bring
just-
it back. Come on.
Hey.
You got
It's
to tease it.
It's just my name right there at Paul Costabile. That's it.
All right, there you go.
No
There
spaces. Yeah.
No spaces.
Thanks, guys.
Very good. That's all for tonight. Follow me on social media. I'm all over the place. And if you're curious to be on the show, if you want to be on the show, drop me a line, email me, and get in touch. I would love to interview you and, spotlight your career as well. Thanks for tuning in, and good night, America.